I think this is recording. Hello, this is Mr. Deckard. I will be your media teacher both at Bedford Middle School and Olytic Middle School this coming school year. Looking forward to meeting you all and getting going. I've invited all of you to join the classroom ahead of time so that we can start working on ideas. And I've thrown some suggested activities, or at least a suggested activity and some options onto the classroom. If you haven't looked at that, you might want to go ahead and do that. But I suppose if you're looking at this, you've looked at the classroom page. Anyway, enough talking in circles. What I wanted to do was show you a video example of the kinds of things that we'll be creating. This is not necessarily going to be our layout, but if you look on your screen and around where I'm talking, that graphic that you see is something I generated today called an overlay. And the overlay is the interesting graphic that you put in the background whenever you put up refined podcasts, help videos, whatever it is that you're going to create, or just a simple YouTube content creation. What I did is I set up my graphic and I created a couple of boxes that I punched out. And in there, I'm going to place the content. And you notice here I have the Facebook page for Bedford Middle School. By the way, Mr. Calhoun is the person who is working on this. He is our principal at Bedford Middle School. He created this graphic that you see right here. Really cool. Thought I would use it on this overlay as an example. Now, we don't have to, but I thought I would use what we had. And it's always best to incorporate the work of other people, I think, when possible. Just a really cool thing. Anyway, you also notice that down here and I have to look over to my right because I have a split screen here. This area that I'm swirling around is called the bottom third, and we'll be creating these. Now, in this case, it's embedded into the graphic, so I can't turn it on and off. But I'll show you how. I was just doing this real quick, is why that it's done that way. But I'll show you how to do that as a separate graphic so that you could animate it if you wanted to, or you could turn it on and off as you see in actual newscasts. Then here's my inset box. Here's our graphic. Yeah. So the exercise that I gave you was to start laying out how you would want your content to look on the screen. And this is what I'm talking about. The content is the Facebook page and my face. So you might start kind of portioning off. I mean, just make a rectangle standard sheet of paper if you want to do this, and just portion off how you want stuff to balance out. Do you want to have a big U face, for instance, and a little bit of a smaller content page where you have it like a newscast rolling in the background? You decide. I mean, it could go anywhere you want it to go. You could just have yourself in the foreground and just have a box up to the side. You see that a lot of time in newscasts. So it's whatever you want, but I want your input on that, I guess is what I'm saying. So what are some other things we're going to do? Well, I mentioned that we'll be making podcasts, help videos. We'll do standard content creation. By that, I mean, some of you will want to be YouTube content creators, possibly, or Twitch if you play games, that sort of stuff. So this just kind of dovetails right into it. And the beauty part of it is much of the software that we're going to be using is free. So you're going to be operating the associated hardware and software. In front of me, I have a camera. I have my mic right here to the side. I have my OBS Studio open here, which, by the way, this is free. So this is rather cool. You're going to learn how to do all that. And there are different ways to be involved here. See, because some people are going to be designers, and they're going to say, I'm going to design the most beautiful overlay, and I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to make it functional. It's just going to be a really cool thing. Some of you want to operate in the background. You want to do what I'm doing right now, and that is operate the studio software and make sure that everything's running the way it needs to run behind the scenes. Some of you are going to want to be on-air talent. You're going to want to be the person actually delivering the content, which is cool. And I want this class to be able to incorporate all of those personalities. And if we happen to be lucky enough to have a room full of people who can do all those things, we'll rotate the duties. But I want this to be something that you enjoy. And we're going to start right off with trying to make something that you want to look at, something that you want to see, and that you can take ownership in. So I think that's probably enough for an intro video. I think this is probably a good place to stop. And I thank you for watching the video, and if you want to contribute ideas, please do so. Those wind up coming to me through email, I think. I have turned off chat on the classrooms for now. And until we meet in person and I get a gauge of who's in the class, I think it's just safer if I leave that off for now. But don't worry, I do see anything that you submit. It comes to me through email, and we can chat privately, and I think that's probably the best way to handle it for now. So with that said, this is Mr. Deckard, and I am going to sign off. Okay.